Hello, my name is Lewis Lockhart, and today there's a world that I have that I really would like to show you. This world is something that I spent a lot of months on, probably over a year. I'm not entirely sure how long I spent on it, but I spent a good chunk of my time on this world, and I'd like to show it off. This is going to be a video uploaded to YouTube, so anyone who may join the stream will probably be completely confused. To my YouTube folks out there, do check out my Twitch. I do stream occasionally. If you want to follow me on there, if Twitch streaming's something you enjoy or not, it is okay. You are not required to. So let's get on with it. This world that I hold dear to my heart is titled Cliff City, but the name is kind of a lie, as I never really went forward to making a city on a cliff side. But it's a world that I spent a lot of my time on. Welcome to my favorite Minecraft world. Today I'm gonna show you every single building, everything that I have built on this world, everything, every little secret, and how far you can explore in this world. It's going to be a quick video. I won't edit it down too hard. I'll keep it mostly true to the VOD. And anyone who joins in along the way, you can talk and chat. This here is spawn. When somebody new who hasn't joined the world previously loads into a world, they will spawn here. And right off the bat, when someone new who joins this world, they start to look around and they see everything that I have built. Just from the start here. But before we start jumping in anywhere on this world, let's start at the spawn tower. Obscure Central. Now, I'd like to note that this is actually a reference to a book that I have written. Now, I don't have any books published. I don't have anything like published yet. This is just kind of like a book that's kind of sitting in my Google Docs collecting dust, as I do not have the money to publish something yet. It's still technically all in its first draft, but I plan to write it into more drafts and more processed looks. But Obscure refers to the last name of the main character of my first story, Shadows vs. Society. Let's head right in. On the interior, it's nothing too complicated. He's got a bit of pillars, got some paintings. Got a scaffolding that'll lead to other levels. The first room is nothing to be too terribly interested in. There is a beacon. If you go up this ladder here, it's a little room with some smokers. The item frames represent the functionality of these things. Some blast furnaces for the ores, crafting, and one of the many things that I like to hide around in my creative worlds: book and quills and lecterns. We craft, we smelt, we cook. Essentials of survival. There's not much meaning behind some of these books, but some of them do have meaning. Just kind of depends on how I felt mentally during the time when I wrote into the books. Up into the second level, this is the gardening room. The plants that are planted here are just potatoes. They do have meaning behind them. The reason why I selected potatoes in specific is because in survival worlds, potatoes are my favorite plant to farm. I know, technically, for the hardcore survivalist out there, golden carrots is something you should be eating up on, but I don't really care. This here on the third level, this is the enchantment room. Now, it's not actually built for enchanting, but it's a room with books and stuff. Going on to the 4th level. This is just a storage room, cobwebs to show that it's been abandoned for quite some time. Nothing too important. Going up to the 5th level now. This is the bedroom. There's 2 occupants to this tower. There's no lore for why there's only 2 occupants. I don't really add lore to the worlds. These control the lights here. Pretty simple. Let's go up to the 6th level. The 6th level is the last level to this tower. We have the grindstone, the anvil, the smithing table, and another lectern. Let's give it a read. It is time. I remember exactly why I only wrote that into the book and quill. This tower is the first thing that I've built onto this world. This tower is basically my oath of saying that I'm going to commit to this world for as long as I can. How much am I going to be able to build onto this world, etc. And you will see how much I was able to commit to this world until I finally... I wouldn't say I left it to the dust, it's more like I left it behind to start other projects. Oh look, it's getting nighttime. And by the ways, I'll link to what the texture pack is that I'm using, because I feel like some people on Bedrock who play on Bedrock may want to know what it is. I can't blame you, because this is probably one of my favorite texture packs in the game. So where should we start first? There's a lot of ways to go. There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot on this world. Let's go to the second thing I ever built. I think that's a good direction to start with. We land on an island. It has a lighthouse and a house. I started with the cobblestone path. I knew I wanted to build a lighthouse. With it being the second building, it was a challenge to myself because I wasn't really that great at building lighthouses. Started with a little farm, and then I built the house with bricks and oak planks. The interior is very simple. We got a bunk bed, some books, crafting table, a small little chest, nothing inside. It's a creative world, why would you put things inside? And we exit out the back door. This is where the lighthouse is at. Before I show off the entire exterior, allow me to show you the interior. Use the jungle door for the door. I don't think I ever put anything in the interior. There are balconies though. With nothing in the interior, allow me to show you the exterior. I made this build with red concrete and white concrete, quartz and mangrove slabs, and other sorts of blocks, jungle and oak. This is possibly my favorite lighthouse I've ever built in any world. It just looks the nicest. Even if I took off the texture pack, I'm still proud of this build. It's something that I return to quite often. It looks very nice, even at night. Now you may be wondering, what are these ships that have been copy and pasted everywhere? Well, there's a block called the structure block, and these ships were a test to see how the structure block functions. That's why they've been copy and pasted. And these ships too, I'm also very proud of. I'm not big on building vehicles, I guess you could call it. It's not something I'm good at, but this ship, I don't know. I just cooked with this one, I guess. There's a little interior too. There's a bed, a barrel, and a chiseled bookshelf. Very simple. The bamboo feels like it fits for the vibe of a pirate ship. We're gonna go on to the third thing I built on this world. This one is this modern house right here. I'm not too big fan of building modern houses, but I had to build one because this was technically a tribute to a long best friend that I've had for a very long time. She's still alive, I'm not saying she's dead, but she really liked modern houses, and she helped me on a big project in the past. She built a little modern city. It's all in this kind of modernized square style. So this is a bit of a tribute to her. We have the fake golf course that's around the entire island. The interior is not something to be impressed by, but it's just something here. The sign also doesn't really mean anything. I just kind of gave it a name and that's it. Got our little living room here. Speakers, which is no blocks. I made the couches with wool. Go over here, shulker boxes to represent cabinets. Fridge. But I'm not gonna go too in depth about that because that's a story I don't want to speak about. We have a little back area here. A pool. Some sun chairs, I guess you could call that. Going upstairs now, we have the second floor. Queen size bed. A desk. A lot of paintings on the walls. Then we have a balcony here. The balcony allows you to see the world. A little dining area, I guess you could call it. A little like area for people to come to sunbathe or just kind of do things, I guess. We'll move on to the next build of the world. And it is the very first cliffside house that I made. And it's probably hard to see at night, so I'm going to change it to daytime real quick. While it's turning to daytime. This here is a cliffside mansion. It's made entirely out of spruce and deep slate. Quite proud of it. It looks kind of wonky, but I don't know. I really like it. I don't build on these worlds to impress people, really. I build on these worlds because it's fun. Fun is my #1 priority. This is Lockhart's Manor. And you know me as Lewis Lockhart, so of course, this is my manor. It's fairly simple. You will walk on the inside, there's just some books. If we go down here, this is a basement. Got some candles. Made sure to make it kind of look like ominous. Got a brewing stand room. Go through here. Over here. Some music discs. Disc 11 and I forgot what that one was. Pretty sure this is just a furnace room. Yep. This is the power. It's all linked up. Some skulls. A wither rose. Enchantment table. That's really it down here. There's nothing else too special. So we go into the next room. Just another hallway. Some bookshelves. Chiseled bookshelves. Some paintings. Fairly simple. But in here is a dining room. Fits a total of 9 people. Cool painting. Potted plant. Patio. Made it with grass instead of some type of wood. You can look out in the world. See some builds. See the mountains. Is that a beacon? Honestly, I don't remember everything I built on this world. There's so much on here. Let's continue. This here is just like a little lounge area, something to sit down at, admire paintings. There goes the second floor, we can't go there yet. And here is the first bedroom, I think. Yep. This is the first bedroom of the entire manor. There's no specifications of whose bedroom is which, why is there so many. But this is the first lectern of the manor to read. Let's read it. Luxurious paradise, nothing can stop us. I don't remember what that means. Got a little area with a loom and barrel, stuff to craft banners, and a massive storage room yet again, with some cobwebs to show that this has been abandoned for quite some time. Now, we can move on to the next room. This area is left dark on purpose. This leads to the staircase that leads us up to the second floor. Second floor has just got some tables and chairs, places for people if they want to sit, relax. Then we have our second dining room. This fits 10 people in total. Golden plates, torch flower, a wall of basically monumental stuff. Skeleton skull, or I think that's a zombie head, I can't really tell. Yeah, there's a skeleton, wither skeleton, piglin head, nether star, dragon head, creeper head, and zombie head. And into the next room, we have another bedroom. Not too entirely sure why there's 2 bedrooms in the house, but it is what it is. It's just something I built in the meantime. That is all to Lockhart's Manor. This is the next build that we will be covering. This was a test of a reverse roof, of where the roof extends outwards from a certain direction. These are very complex to build. These are not my favorite thing to build, but it was a fun test nonetheless. And as far as I'm aware, I don't think there's much. Yeah, there's not even a book and quill in the interior. Up here, bedroom in the attic, some books. Fairly simple. Let's go over here. This here is a graveyard. I put spruce trees, dark oak trees, and mangrove trees primarily to convey an emotion. Greaves Cemetery, it's just a random name. There's not many weight to that. Black candles everywhere, or gray I guess. Are these black? They are black. Wither roses. There's a path here that you can follow. Gravestones. None of them were labeled as far as I remember. However, this path does lead to a location that I think has some information on it. Yep. This here is a tribute to a character that I had written about in a story. This is my original character, Layla. Now, I would go into detail, but this is a book I have not yet published, and I'd like to publish it someday, so I won't spoil too much about it. But I guess this here already is a spoiler that eventually in her story she will die. The cemetery is fairly simple though. Brick wall, iron gates, some simple gravestones, mud, dirt, coarse dirt. Just fairly simple stuff. Different types of gravestones. Go lichen, go lichen, I don't really know how it's pronounced. Let's go to the next nearby build. This may not look like a build, this may look like a start to a survival world, but that's the point of the build. This build over here is supposed to look like a start to a survival world, maybe like a little cave base that you start up with, and a small farm that you'd like to just have planted for whatever reason, whether it's food or whatever. This build is fairly simple. I think it starts from the river over here. Yep. So from the river, you got this path. Start walking down it. These ores were already here. Keep walking the path. You can see a tunnel was started. Crystal, it's just a random name. Doesn't relate to anybody in real life or a fictional character. Keep going, the scaffolding leads upwards. This is Crystal's home, whatever character made that be. Just quick little simple things you'd probably have at the start of Survival World. A normal furnace, a blast furnace, not blast furnace, this is a smoker. Yeah, smoker, some chests, a bed that's uncolored, stone cutter, and a grindstone. If we go up, you have the farm, some more pathing, and that's really it. Just a very, very simple build. But there's something that I should note. This river here is actually handmade. I actually built this river. Which, that should have been obvious because of the seaweed, but, or the kelp, technically. That's kelp, not seaweed, but, the kelp here is, probably makes it obvious that I built this. I used a command called /fill to fill in this space. Now it goes on for some time, and before we get to the dam over there, we're going to start with this build. This build is fairly simple. This is composed of dark prismarine, dark oak, and birchwood. I had a friend tell me a while ago, a couple months ago or whatever, that birch is like one of the ugliest blocks. I disagree. I think acacia is probably one of the ugliest blocks. Let's head in. Oh, I don't think I ever interiored. I don't think I built an interior for this. I did not. There's not an interior. Never mind, we are not going to explore the interior, because there's none. However, I do know there's a secret with this build. Down here, there's a little thing down here. There's a portal in here. Does the portal actually lead anywhere? I don't remember. We need to grab an elytra, because that's the only way you can enter this area. So, let's grab that real quick. Without a HUD, I can't really tell if I... There we go. Now, this world was created before, you could do the trapdoor thing where you could crouch down. I don't remember if this portal actually leads anywhere. But it does take you to this portal for some reason. Even though this portal and the other portal is kind of far apart. This portal here leads to another part of the world. This here's a little nether house created with warped and crimson planks. It's fairly simple, nothing special. If we lead up right out of here, there's another building. And actually, there's a village and a castle. This building here was a test of having multiple roofs. Worked out pretty well. I liked it. It's pretty nice. Let's take a look on the interior. Glazed terracotta for the ground. More glazed terracotta. It doesn't look like there's an interior. Yeah, no interior. So there's no interior to this. I think this is the point of the world where I just kept building but not actually putting an interior. Now there's some things in this world I'm quite proud of. Got a little farm here. Got a barn made with mangrove plank, not mangrove, this is crimson planks. With crimson planks and birch logs. Birch and I think this is spruce. Yep, spruce wood, birch wood. Got some mud and dirt paths. Some horses inside. Before we look at the castle, let's look at this over here. Over here is a small stone path. A little bridge that goes over. And we will see that this is a little minecart station. Bellflower Station. Now, the Bellflower name actually has a meaning to it. Bellflower actually refers to as that little village that's right next to the castle. So, it's Bellflower Village. Here we have some lights. No, these lights can actually be controlled somewhere. Yep, right here. So the station's lights can be controlled. Got a little like world rug on the ground. The front area where I'd assume that you get your tickets. Coordinator of the world. This was supposed to have coordinates, a book and quill, and set of coordinates of destinations, but I kind of gave up on that because I realized how long it'd take to set up stations around the world, and I didn't know how big the world was going to be, so I just kind of gave up with that. Now these rails do go somewhere, but we cannot visit the location yet. We may first look at the castle. Set it daytime again. This castle here does share a banner. There's not really much meaning with the banner, it's just a cool banner. I thought it looked cool. This castle is the third castle that was ever built on this world. It's fairly medium-sized, I guess you could put it. It's not big. I like it. It's pretty cool. I did start putting mossy cobblestone around it, but then I gave up with it because it was just kind of boring and repetitive. I don't think the castle has an interior. It might have an interior. Storage. Oh, it does. Okay. So there is an interior. Here's some storage. Throne room. And the throne is actually a joke of a giant toilet. Here's an exit. Waits right outside. Let's carry on. Over here, there's a balcony. Tower that leads up to the balcony. This leads us off to one of the various areas that you can look out towards. I think it's pretty. I really like looking out on my world. That could be just me though. What's up here? Is there actually anything up here? Oh, it's another balcony. I imagine this is where probably the king of this village would look out towards. The guest bedroom. small library. Lots of books. Another guest bedroom. A wall of paintings. The Hall of Art, actually. Numerous exits. Study room. Fairly simple. Leads out to another exit. And actually, now that I'm remembering a bit more about this world, the way how you access the second floor is actually through here. Second floor stairway. A dining hall. Just a little pattern on the table. Little area to brew. This is the master bedroom. This is where I think the king would probably sleep. Gold, diamond, and emerald to show his worth. A map of the area. I doubt this map's updated. But this is a little map of this little area. He has his weapons on the table. The bed, that's actually functional. Some shulker boxes. That's really it to this area. That's it to the castle. Now let's go down the line. There's a house down here in this village. This is one of the most unique roofs I've ever built in my life. I kind of just built it on the fly. There's no inspiration for it. It was just built it on the fly, I guess you could refer to it. This house is made of dark oak and cobblestone primarily. Has a little gardening wall, or whatever you want to refer to that as. Go up. Some detailed windows, a carrot farm. Right up to the main entrance. Wilkins Cottage. This does not refer to anybody in real life or any characters in books, so it's kind of just a name that I picked. The interior. I use mud bricks for the floor. Recovery compass. A map of just this tiny little area. Very simple stuff. Let's go up here. This is the second floor. Got some random stuff. Totem of non-dying. The bed that's also functional. Lectern without a book. This here actually leads, go through the fire, so leads to a little secret area of some wealth. That's really it to this build. There's nothing else. Just something cool. Sticking to the village, if we somehow get down there. Little area I built to get down there. We have a docking area where ships go. There's some materials that have been imported right here. We have a crane that's operating over here. Crane is picking up a barrel, so this would probably be the export area technically. Ship that's full of the barrels that's about to depart. Ship does have an interior, just a little place that the crew members may sleep at. Nothing too complex. So, this little house over here, let's check out that house. Does stick to the village, after all. This is one of the earliest builds in the world. I don't remember if it's like the 5th or 6th, but it's definitely one of the more earlier ones. W-styled roof. It's got a little gardening area in there that's secluded to the interior. Let's see what's on the inside. Another place I decorated. Cool. Interior. Ooh, a lectern with a book. Let's see what it says. Soon, there will be a 4th bed. Okay, that hints at something. Here's where you access the garden. More carrots, of course. Let's go upstairs. Oh. So this is one of the more personal worlds, or personal builds. This here, at the time when I built this, with the previous axe that I had, his bed referred to like my best friend. My bed referred to me, and her bed referred to my other best friend. These two people who I've never met in real life, but the 4th bed, I realize what that means now. The 4th bed represented my ex at the time, who I was dating. That's why I hinted at a 4th bed. Another storage room, nothing important. Personal build, some vague representation, something that does not apply to today. Let's go over here. There's actually a little vegetation area that I forgot to point out. This here is just a quick little small vegetation area with moss blankets and stuff. More importantly, it leads into a mine shaft filled with ores. I did add the ores myself. I did add everything myself. Obviously, you wouldn't find diamonds at this level. The area is supposed to look overgrown, filled with riches, not yet explored type feeling. I don't think there's any secrets in this place. I think it just kind of leads off to random areas. Little cave area. Yeah, it doesn't actually lead anywhere important. So there's the little vegetation area. Alright, so we've explored vast majority of this region. I say take a look at what's left in this little area. We'll look at the castle, what's behind the castle, this little factory down here, and then we'll move on to other areas of the world. So, let's take a look at this factory. This factory has daylight sensors attached with the lights, but unfortunately this world is so large that it's kind of buggy and the lights never turn off now. Inside we have a little lever here. Light switch controls all the lights in the factory. I love redstone like that. It's so simple but so cool. Got the little smithing area. These deposit lava, because I know fire is important to smithing. Get these, like, I don't know what these are supposed to represent. Massive furnaces. Get the areas to cut or to grind. This here would be like the break room. Up here it says to do. It just says work, because I don't really know how to go. I hate cave sounds. Anyway, this is the boss's office. Obviously, the boss's chair has to be bigger than the normal chairs that employees sit in. Let's see what the lectern says. Making those things work till they drop. till this the only way to get it done. Okay. Alright. Sure. Whatever you say, buckaroo. But yeah, that's the factory. For brick structures, this is probably one of my favorite brick buildings in the entire world. Right here, there's a sign. Warning, dangerous path ahead. But we're gonna follow it anyway. The path is destroyed, it's a little overgrown, but should be safe enough to traverse. May take a bit to get up. May have to take a little bit of a detour to get up. As we move up further, realize it's getting harder to traverse the path. We are now in the snow. Right here, it's unclear where we should go, but obviously you can see the structure right there. I don't think there's a way actually to get up here other than through those vines. So you go through here, and here's the vines. Oh, there's powdered snow here. But you can make a quick climb right here. Here we are. This is an abandoned castle. This is the only build on my world that is actually not mine. The X that I keep referring to from the past, this is her build. I put it in ruins because she gave up on this world after we broke up, and I used this place as a place to vent. She came into his life with a promise to never leave again. There are an abundance of memories made here in and out of these walls. These memories flush his mind like a constant tsunami. As he tries to survive from drowning, she happily thrives on her own without a pain in the world. She left him to die, and he will resist and resurface soon. Pretty dark stuff. I was only a teenager when I was building on this world, so very heavy teenage angst, you know. I take things heavily. Here's another lectern. Let's see what it says. She started a castle but never got the chance to finish it. He loved her enough to finish what she started. Sure. I guess I did. I don't know. Another lectern. Let's see what it may say. This is a blocked path. It cannot be reached. Oh. I was expecting teenage angst, but okay. But yeah, that's this castle. This castle is not built by me, but it did get finished by me. Let's check out this little thing up here. This is made with copper blocks. And it's just kind of a little mysterious thing. However, if we note this on, I think the outside, I don't think there's a way. Yep, there is. There's a way to enter, but it's kind of hard to see as it blends in very, very well. We enter inside. Sniffer egg. Ancient debris. It looks like a research facility. There's a lectern, but there's no entry on it. Some music discs. I wonder if this ever serves any purpose in the future. Maybe, maybe not. You will see. Now, I want to explore one of the first secrets on this world. All the way over here. Before we ever venture off into anything else, there's a secret base. There's a secret area. And can you guess where this might be located at? No? Yes? Well, if you picked this little snow region, you are right. Right down here, there's a little area, don't remember where entirely, but there's an area where if we fall into it, a little cherry grove and a little cave. And this leads on to the cherry mansion that I've built. Entirely secluded underground. It is the first secret on this world of many. There's many pathways to take. These paths kind of lead on to their own little destination. Bunch of cherry trees. Inside, some interior kitchen area. This leads on to another area. Dining room. Storage, crafting area. Enchantment room, a little library. Just some rooms, I guess. There's a little upstairs here. Let's see what's up here. Some windows, storage. Ooh, hey, another room. It's a balcony over this area, I guess. The first bedroom. Guess this could be seen as a little library. Another bedroom. Pink bunk beds. A little sideway room. The parents' bedroom, as I guess this could be. Fairly simple. Nothing too complex, and this leads back to the parents' bedroom, so since there's no lecterns here, there's no information that can be read. So that was the first building of the area. Let's look at the second one. Fairly simple interior. Another bedroom with a wardrobe. And another exit. We will not go that way yet. Let's keep going this way. This here shows a giant cherry grove tree that I hand built myself. Some ores. This area can be accessed from the front entrance. A little small house. Nothing important really. Got some cartography tables, some papers, so maybe this is where maps were made. Go over here. Just kind of fly my way. There's nothing towards that way. But up here, there's a glowberry farm to harvest from. Just another little bedroom area. Ooh, hey, a lectern. Look here underground. This cave, it's safer than the surface. Oh, my darling. You will understand someday. Some days you'll be horrified to wake, trapped here. Then you will see soon how much it is a blessing to be here. This lectern is a reference to the game Dishonored. There is a character, spoilers by the way, there's a character named Lord Brisby in Dishonored, on the 5th mission I think it was, the 5th mission called Lady Boyle's Last Party. To anyone who's played Dishonored, this would probably be one of your favorite missions. It was definitely my favorite mission. That lectern there is a paraphrasing of Lord Brisby, who basically tells Lady Boyle that she's gonna have to learn to live with him, because the non-lethal route in that game is to kidnap Lady Boyle and bring her to him. And it's kind of one of those decisions where it's like makes you think morally that it'd probably been better to just kill Lady Boyle than to actually do the non-lethal route. It's kind of one of those creepy, controversial routes, but if you were going on a non-killing spree though, that was probably the only one you had. This here is a little bay. Fairly simple, little spot to sit at. Keep going on. More paths. Doesn't really lead to anywhere. I'm pretty sure this way doesn't actually lead to anywhere. Yeah, it's just a little water area. However, you may ask yourself, how do we get out of here? Well, actually, right up here. Some glowberries you can climb on. There's a ladder. So technically there is 2 entrances here. But this is supposed to look like, from on the outside, doesn't look like a little entrance you can go through. So that is the first secret of this world. Now before we look at these buildings over there, we're going to go back to the train station. Looking off to the side here, you can see some builds in the distance, but we'll get to those later. For now, we must explore what's in this area. Here's the second station. This is Melody Station. It is the exact same build as before. There's nothing too interesting about it. So we're going to go ahead and follow this path. Now this path actually leads somewhere. Leads to one of two locations. The Bellfire Village and Flamingo City. But, I already stated, we'll explore those in a moment, because if you look towards the other direction when you were on the path of the rails, you can see some builds over here, and it may spark your curiosity a little bit more as to why they are not on the direct path. Right here, it's one of my favorite builds. Just a quick little area, got a campfire, go inside. It's pretty lively. There's also a basement. You can see a bit more. Some barrels. I have to scratch my ear. Allow us to explore a little bit further, and I'll show you the exterior a bit more. Another balcony. That is all that we have to worry about. I thought I could exit through that way, never mind. So this here was another test of a roof style that I've never really done before. It's pretty cool. Just really like how it turned out. As far as I remember, this doesn't actually go anywhere. Yeah, it doesn't. Now over here, these builds may look a little out of place from everything else, but these were built with my current partner. They had asked me to build a duck and given me a challenge to build with some random stuff. So I built a duck, and I built with the palette that they gave me. I don't really know if there's any... Yeah, there's nothing really here. But yeah, duck. There's also a build over here. This is a more recent build. I don't really know what it is, but I know there's nothing in the interior. It's just kind of here. It's kind of cool, I guess. Over here is just a simple house. I'm not going to go in depth with it. It's just a little simple house. What does it say on the sign? Cabin. Yeah. There's nothing interesting about it. Ah, now we know what that beacon was for. Look at that after we look at some of these houses. It's just another simple build. There's a lectern, but there's no books on it, so that's by process of elimination. Anything else that's in there probably doesn't have anything else to be interested in. If this doesn't... Oh, hey, a lectern. I've moved to a new region. It fits me, and I'm isolated, with a few friends. Life's great. I remember the point of this build. This build is, of course, during the grievances of the previous X, but this was, whenever I refer to the friends part, my friend Dallas, my friend Mike joined me on this world. I built this little house. It was pretty interesting. But the best part about this area is this build over here. The worst part about this build is that it's uneven. I remember it was not proportionally, like, great or whatever. But this build here, I don't really know what to tell you of it, other than it was just a cool build in my mind that I wanted to do. Now over there, I will not look what's over there, but it's just stuff that my friend Dallas and Mike made. It's not stuff that would be friendly to show on YouTube, or yeah, YouTube or Twitch, so I'm not going to show it. And yep, there you go. This is the last build of this area. Well, there's another one too that you may have seen as I was exploring, but that other build that you may have seen is actually not that intriguing. Here though, this. If you ever played Modern Warfare 2, this may look similar to the Estate House. That Makarov, I think it was Makarov's house, I think it was. That was what may look similar to this, and that was my inspiration. On the interior, just some simple stuff. Standard interior stuff. I'm not going to go in depth into it, 'cause it's just simple. Go through the glass, there's nothing really of importance, but it was a really nice build. If there was something I'd ever build in survival mode, it'd probably be this. Also, these are tough blocks, by the way. Yeah, I might as well show that house. Where is it at? There it is. It's over here. This house is nothing of importance. It's kind of bland. It's just a little simple square build. Smith's cabin has no relation to any characters or real people, although there is a lectern. The forest whispers to me in the middle of the night. Echoes of the lost haunts me every day. They speak to me, they tell me and remind me of who I really am. I am no hero, just a crooked man in the middle of nowhere. Okay. On this side of the world, that is all there is to be shown as far as I'm aware. Moving on, after from this house over here, there's another build, another few builds that I never got to show off. First of all, here's some random houses. I'm gonna look through the window real quick. Is there a lectern? Yeah, but it's not fulfilled. So this is just a random house. It's nothing really special. There's also a random tower here. It's also not that special. There's nothing cool to it. So we're going to move on from it. But here is the first ever dam I have ever built. You can tell probably by a first sign I really like the cherry trees. The dam, actually, I looked up online how dams work. One side is a high level, the other side is a lower level. I don't know how they actually function, but yeah. I really like dams. This looks pretty damn good. Okay. Anyway. Now this, you may have seen from the start. This may have piqued your interest. This is the first castle I have ever built on this world. There's an abandoned bridge to it. It's fairly simple. But when you look at the front and you just stare off from this little balcony, you can really see how much I built onto this world. Entering inside, it's kind of like a little church area. We have the cross. I am not Christian. Well, I guess I kind of am. I don't know. That's still a complex thing. Let's look at this lectern. Some dude died on a cross and now we worship him. Oh my god, Christianity joke. Royal family only. Some simple things. Up here, I don't think it's anything too interesting. Ooh, another lectern. Let's see. Oh yeah. So this is actually a reference to a Minecraft skin I have that I refer to as Black Jesus. It's this one. If you are offended, I'm sorry, I guess. Let's see what this lectern says. The coffin room is speculated to be haunted. I have no idea if that is true, but I do get the feeling of being stalked by somebody. More coffins. Even more coffins, just some random areas. Walking down some corridors. We have a section of glass that leads to, I guess, a library. This was supposed to be a map of the world, but I never got to doing that. Little desk area, and then up here at the top, a massive bedroom. I think this is where the king and queen would sleep. Another balcony. Can really see of the world. Simple bed. Not functional, so that's okay. Little dining room. A spot where the king and queen would sit. Some more bookshelves. Servants' quarters. A triple bunk bed. Heck yeah. What's over here? More servants' quarters. This is the same thing. It's the same thing. Nothing interesting there. Let's go upstairs. Just some more books. What's over here? Storage, I guess. Brewing area. Small little bedroom. Maybe where the prince would sleep. And a big library. That's pretty much it to this build though. Let's check out these builds over here. Right here is just a little small home. Another way of building that roof again. I did build a shed. Is there anything in the shed? Nope. Let's see. Is there a little TV? Some interesting stuff. A bed, but no lecterns. Now this here is another castle. crimson and warped. It's supposed to look like the Nether broke through into the overworld. Now I know there's actually nothing in depth here, so I'm gonna leave this area. That's this side of the world complete at looking at. Now, we need to go back far towards this way. If you come down here, the path leads to Flamingo City. Let's go take a look at what that is. Huh. A wizard tower. Maybe we can depart a little bit. The wizard tower was loosely inspired from Stardew Valley. Client info. Yep. This is definitely slightly inspired by Stardew Valley, but there's also some other characters in here that actually have some meaning to them. We have Clint, inspired from Stardew. That's actually the character Clint. Anonymous, which doesn't really relate to anybody. We have Rachel, doesn't relate to anybody. Lewis, that's me. Barry, as a reference to Jetpack Joyride. Another anonymous. There's no reference there. Kronos, this is a character in a fantasy novel that I'm writing. Nicholas is also a character in that same fantasy novel, and so is Alyssa. Harold is just some random character. He doesn't really have any significance anywhere. Let's look further. Do not enter. It's just a bedroom, I guess. Little small brewing area. Another area, but no importance either. Okay, let's get back on path. Oh, there's a little abandoned house here. Is there anything important to it? Anything down here? Nope. Just a little abandoned area. Oh hey, a camp. There's a sleeping bag, 2 sleeping bags, campfire. Let's keep going. I have messages. I no longer have messages. I wonder what those buildings are over there. For now, though, we have to stick to the path. I did copy and paste the barn, so we've already seen this earlier. I'm going to keep going. Some acacia trees, cherry trees, and finally, we make it to Flamingo City. Icy's General Store. This is not a character and has no relevance to anybody, so just a little area I made. And Barks apartment complex. The Barks specifically refers to the root beer. It's one of my favorite root beers. The apartments are just fairly simple, and as far as I'm aware, there's no lecterns inside. Yeah, it has bunk beds. Little dining area. The menu: fish, steak or pork, water bones, and your mother. Oh my god. Nothing on the inside. Black's apartment. This is a reference to a previous teacher I had named Mr. Black. Cool guy. Deverin's apartments. It's just a random name. Has no relation. I know I never decorated this stuff. Marcus's clothes. As far as I remember, Marcus doesn't refer to anybody who I know, but there probably was a reference and I just don't remember. This house may annoy people who are perfectionists, but that is the point. This house is asymmetrical. It's a wonky kind of house. It's not consistent. The roof isn't consistent. None of it's consistent, but that is the point. Journal entry 1. Flamingo City, the land of the free, yet it is nothing more than a small village for experimentation. The citizens are unaware of it. As the population increases, mostly everyone is left in the streets. I started to use the homeless as an advantage to further my research in poisons and other chemicals for warfare. Bellflower Village started to notice my actions. The king isn't happy, but with the amount of money I'm making with this complex alchemy, I was able to pay him off with some gold. Gold traced to diamond armor. There's a village outside, far away across the massive ocean from the lighthouse, that is buying all my products. They don't explicitly say why they're buying it. I don't really care either. I'm just making money. Found an old sign with an F and a C on it. Thought it stood for Flamingo City, but soon quickly realized the details on the sign weren't matching to what this place looks like. I think there was another city here. Maybe it's deep underground now? Send some people into caves nearby to retrieve any information on it. If you go around, little kitchen, glazed terracotta again. A little backyard area, I guess you could call it. I don't know what that could be, but alright. In here is another room with another lectern, number 2. This mansion is large. It's bigger than any of the little to no effort homes built in the city. I made sure to let the amount of people here know that I rule over them and keep most of the money to myself. They tried to start a revolution. However, it got nowhere. I made some poisonous gas to fill the air, killed off the previous citizens, then replaced them with tourists who wish to stay here. They like the ocean view on the side, claim it's romantic. It's not so romantic when you start to take notice that you're being actively tested on. I don't think these new people will realize it anytime soon. This room here is where I keep all the books, covering different recipes for different potion brewing. Some on negative effects, while others are positive. It's a room I don't spend a lot of time in. It's nearby the graveyard from those who managed to decease from the town. And I actively use their Jesus. I actively use those corpses as ingredients for more potion experimentation. The miners I sent out to search underground came back with an interesting monument, something I didn't expect. It says, "Here lies Float City." Interesting, another city was here, for sure. But where did it go? Sent out a team to go search the world in a 60-mile radius, to try and find where the city may have moved to. Like, why is it called Float City? My theory is that it floated away via Floating Island. That is a good guess, but the citizens think I'm mad. I bet you those people will find a floating landmass suspended in the air with a city supporting it. Or perhaps find said landmass crashed onto the ground with the city in ruins. Regardless, I just need proof that it existed. They let me know of the coordinates and I'll go there to either see its beauty or experiment on the dead. Cool. I didn't know that's the direction I was giving this. Here are the gravestones. And I should probably say Float City is a reference to something. I just got spammed with notifications. So, this is a reference to the very first city project I've ever had in my life, called Float City. It was a deeply personal project. I don't have the world anymore. I deleted it a long time ago. But this is just a nod to what caused me to want to build giant creative worlds. Let's see what's over here. There's the monument I talked about. I know there's a third book, but I don't remember where it's at in the house. There it is. It's the final entry. Beyond this ocean lies the discovery of Float City. It's in ruins. The place definitely isn't in the air. It's very far away though. The travel isn't worth it. I went there myself and it consists of just some buildings that managed to survive. I was right though. It was a floating landmass that may have traveled away from this very spot. The dates found in some old journals left behind are ancient. They didn't even have the technology we have. They didn't have any of the fancy stuff like copper or lanterns. It's odd. It's like it was either abandoned for centuries or they were a bunch of idiots. I don't think they were stupid. You can't be an idiot and engineer at a floating city. Perhaps they were unaware of such technology. Maybe it didn't exist. Nonetheless, my team came back with another sign that was more updated. The design is simplistic though, but it still represented the city. Another balcony. You can look out and see some builds. Of course, there's a ship here. The ship represents the people who went on these little expeditions. As far as I'm aware, there's nothing on the inside. Yeah, there's nothing on the inside. So, nothing too important here. I mean, you could sit up here and see, look out. But it's time to look further. Over here, this is the first ever abandoned bridge I've ever built. It's a fairly simple build. It's just a little abandoned bridge, still lit up. It's easy to see at night, and as far as I'm aware, I think there's a secret entrance near it. Like you can get onto the underside, but I don't remember. Yep, right here. Little underside with a book. Crazy Journal, author unknown. She came over here for the first time ever. I dressed myself as handsome as I could, do with the little money I had. She screamed and ran out. The skeletons on the ground, dead, probably didn't help. I managed to find that beauty again out in the wild of Flamingo City. Kidnapped her, did a quick slice. She's now a part of that pile to rot with me during my final years, just like the other two had done too. This is just a crazy journal of some random man. So, yeah, let's move on. That's pretty depressing. Let's see what this is over here. It's got some redstone on it. a bit of a temple with the Mojang symbol on it. Vastly interesting. The Stoic. The Unforgiven. The Diplomat. The Egotistic. These are references to something, but I don't really remember. But I do know The Unforgiven is a reference to the song by Metallica, The Unforgiven. I bet you these are supposed to represent those 4 little banners, or not banners, the armor stands, but probably never got around to actually making them. Is there a way to enter that section? Looks like it. Oh, I see. Supposed to be a map room. In here, another lectern. Nothing too important. On the exterior, though, I really like how this build turned out. What's this, though? Copper structure. The redstone torches, they must be linked. The door is supposed to be closed, but I guess it was left open. That's ominous. Three directions. Take this one first. Ah, yes. This here, with my current partner, as of recording this, is a build of basically our styles mixed together. They enjoy the pink, the quartz, and the birch. I'm more a big fan of the dark oak, the deep slate, and the site. I don't think there's any lecterns, because this was during a time when I was still making history. There's lectern tables, but that looks like decoration more than anything. Balcony. Double bed, another lectern, but nothing, yeah, so nothing of importance. Other than just a little build that my partner loved. Let us continue. There's also another build in this area. It's actually quite nearby that station. This is supposed to be a dam. Another dam, but never quite finished it, so we're just gonna ignore it for now. Let's head towards this way. I see now. This build, as strange as it may have felt in the middle of nowhere from the start, it does have some significant importance. But wait, if there's 4 directions to this little copper station, what does the buried path take us? Well, actually, it would take you over here. You may have seen it in the distance, but this is a massive tower that I've built. It spells help on the island. Skulls littered everywhere. Let's take a look at this. No information, unfortunately. Ruined nether portal. Bed, but still no information. Little fountain. And the tower itself. A broken up bridge. Looks like it was meant to go somewhere. Let's go to the next 4. And I think it's going to be empty from here on out, so actually it's not worth exploring. But this here is a tower that took me forever to build. But in the end, I really like how it turned out, especially with all the lanterns and glowstone. Composed of entirely of blackstone and warped planks. It's possibly one of my favorite builds on this world. But we still have more to explore. Over here. It's also another potential location that this could have led towards. Little small house on the hill. Another lighthouse, but not as impressive as the other one. Campfire area. Is there anything in the lantern? Not the lantern. Is there anything in the house? Nope, probably not. Got some little boys out here. A little path leads to, I guess this is a house? A cottage, maybe? Not too entirely sure. Another lectern. You can tell this is where I just gave up writing all the books. Interesting spot. I'm not too entirely sure what this is, but okay. Oh, hey. Isolated on this mound, I refuse to interact with society again. It is not my space to be in. I created my own. This leverage may help keep outsiders away from me. I'll be able to live the rest of my days in solitude. Fools think they can escape from the end of the world, the end of this universe. Constantly, these cities and villages are desperate to keep on surviving. I'll be here to watch them all disappear one by one. Okay, buddy. Although it is a lovely view. This here, I remember this build actually quite well. I don't really remember what I was supposed to be doing with this one. Kinda just locked off this little house. What's inside? Another book. Far away from here is a dark castle that I served for years. My armor stand here is the highest rank of guards from that place. Be warned. It's like a maze in there. You'll get lost easily. There aren't signs of where to go. Reach the highest point of that castle. There's not an entrance you can go through unless the outside. Wait. There's not an entrance you can go through from the outside unless you break in, I guess. I've not known anyone who can break through that structure ever. Good luck. Okay. There's not much places else to be seen from right here in this location. Well, I guess we still have that right there. Let's take a look at that. Slanted roof styled house. A ruined barn. Is there going to be anything inside? Looks mostly empty. I don't think I decorated it on the interior. Yeah, I definitely did not. It's just a house in the middle of nowhere. Fairly normal. Got a lit up path. Now we can return back to that water station. Travel this way. Not a stairwell this time. Where am I? This build here is my most favorite build in the entire world. This I like to call the overgrown mansion. As you can tell, there's a lot of leaves around it, a lot of moss, a lot of vines, glowberries, everything you'd find. The copper's worn down. Strange banners. Inside, fairly normal interior. Now if you notice, there is a second floor. But I don't remember how to get there. How do I get to the second floor? Is there a way to get to the second floor? Oh, I see. Bedroom. Bathroom. It's kind of rare that I build bathrooms. Another bedroom. Even larger bedroom, but unfortunately no book and quills. think there's only one build I can think of that I missed. I'll go show it off real quick. There's 2 builds actually. 3 actually. 3 builds that I missed. 4. So there's still a little bit more to go. Let's check out these 2 over here. This is some custom made mushroom trees. And that leads into a little cave here. Going inside. Got a little jungle hut. Some copper. No bookshelves or no books to explore, so a little small thing, but this place is just kind of cool. And then right here, this is a little, I don't even know you would call this, but just a little base, I guess. As far as I'm aware, there's like no books and quills to read. Yeah, there's none. So this is just a little cool area I made. Appreciate this. Yeah, some random stuff. There it is. So there's those 2. There's one more. Over here is an underwater base. Kind of forgot to cover it. It's nothing too important. I wouldn't say it's a reference to Subnautica, but it was inspired by Subnautica. So there we go. That's how you activate it. When you're swimming in the water, the skulk sensor will go off and the doors will open. Some bookshelves, enchanting table. Just a little area, but there's no lore or anything to it. So that's it. That is the entirety of this world. Shit. There we go. You have just watched the entirety of this Minecraft world. This silly little world that I've spent my entire life on. Not my entire life, but a good chunk of my life on. At least a year and a half. I got lucky with the terrain generation in this world. Such a beautiful world. If I was ever to do a survival world, I'd take the seed from this world and I'd probably use it in a survival world. To my subscribers on YouTube, I'm gonna end up making a survival world series anyway, but if this video reaches 50 likes, 10 likes, and now 50, I say 50 likes, then that would really show me that you want to see me do some survival world or whatever. If not, I'm still going to do it anyway, so I guess you're not really required to like the video. But yeah, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope you liked the world. And remember, brothers, sisters, and friends of all, to have a very good day or night. See you in the next video.